I've had people tell me that women shouldn't be founders, like men should be founders.
And today with me, I have Karlagod. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what you are building?
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Ekesin. I am Karlagod, and I'm the founder of Bitsave protocol, and I'm also the lead partner at Borderless. So Bitsave is your on-chain savings protocol for saving on-chain.
Why did you choose to build on Bitsave, one of your products that is doing excellently well?
Okay. And one of the things was that made it easier is that Base has DevRails, right, in our region. So DeFi DevRail Israel. There were times when we had one bug issue with gas bug issue. It wasn't on our contract, it was on our front end. And we were able to have a call with Israel and DeFi DevRail, and they helped us through it, building with Base, because apart from the grant support, you actually do get the technical support. We've worked with a lot of ecosystems as regards Bitsave. It's an ecosystem that's sort of like structured in such a way that they're intentional about your growth.
Bitsave was one of the winners for the Base Batches 001. What's changed since winning?
A lot did for us. The first was the attention that we got, and also the mindset shift. So the exposure that it gave after winning helped reinforce trust. My big goal is to get 1 million users using Bitsave.
What are some tips you would share for people starting out?
Early enough, begin investing in people. Then, while you are investing in people, then invest in structures.
So we're on the episode of Builders Corner, a storytelling season with spotlight builders. There are wins, there are losses, and lessons they have learned building products. And today with me, I have Karlagod. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what you are building?
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Ekesin. I am Karlagod, and I'm the founder of Bitsave protocol, and I'm also the lead partner at Borderless. And I'm really happy to be here. I've been seeing Ekesin's tweets as regards your podcast and seeing the kind of guests that you've been having. I'm so honored to be here to talk about our builder journey. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also honored to have you on this podcast. You are part of the key voices in the Web3 ecosystem at large. I'm also glad, honored, and happy to have you on Builders Corner. So guys, let's get straight to it. So I want to hear your journey, how you got into Web3. Can you tell us about your journey, how you got into Web3?
Oh, okay. So it was 2016. I was in the 300 level in University of Port Harcourt, and someone had talked to me about a platform, and I didn't really take it seriously. But I think that same year, when I was in church, I had this choir rehearsal. Our leader, our choir director then, before he started teaching us and talking to us about music and all that stuff, he started talking to us about Bitcoin and about blockchain. I didn't really get it, at first. I think maybe it was a communication thing, but at first it felt like it was, some of these Ponzi schemes, that came in then. They're all just focused on the money aspect of it. You can make this, you can make that, and it was really interesting. But I didn't take it seriously that 2016. And another time I had an encounter that 2016 was when I had put myself on IT. So I was working with a consulting firm, and my boss then was doing MMM, which was a Ponzi thing, and you could do MMM with Bitcoin, right? So if you deposited, you get a 30% interest thing. So that was like the next thing. I was not like, okay, apparently this Bitcoin has to be something, right, that makes some sort of sense, and probably it is really quite valuable. And after 2016, when I was done with school, I think I finished the next year, 2017. But after 2016, the platform that I came closest to really interacting with the blockchain was Steemit. So in 2017, I started writing on Steemit. I think if you just check, if you Google it's KG, Steam it. you would see my account, you'd see the stuff that I've written. But 2017, I started writing on Steam it. And the idea was, okay, you write on Steam it, you get upvoted, and then you get SBDs, So it was sort of like, okay, if I begin to do this, I can make money. And at that point, I was really looking for money because I wanted to pay my school fees. I put my way through school. So I had a dual life in school. I was working and schooling, and there were times when I would just leave school and focus on work because I needed to get funds and stuff like that. So when I heard about blockchain, the only thing that I thought about was, okay, I can make money from it. That was all. I can write on Steam it and get upvoted. Then we were joining Discord communities. We were having Discord radio shows. We were having different activities, right? So that was like my first experience to how communities work in Web3. But it was just only around Steam it, okay? I wasn't looking beyond the needs that I have, which was only to make money. It was until 2019, so that's like 2 years had passed. It was until 2019 that I think later on 2018, Steamies changed their stuff and sort of like failed. It became Hive or something like that. But it wasn't as juicy as it was, and so some of us that were community members were not really using it a lot like that again. But 2019 was when I decided that, okay, I am going to. By this time I was done with school, I was done with everything. I decided that, okay, I was going to take the blockchain industry very seriously. Like, I was going to build a career in Web3. That was what I decided in 2019. Now I wanted to understand the tech, not just the money aspect, right? And besides, when I was even going for the money, I wasn't still making so much, and I was even losing a lot of opportunities because on Steemit, people would write about new token updates, like maybe Ethereum. I think Ethereum had launched before I got into Web3, so there was already ETH. People would write about various token activities. People would write about flow or basically tokens that now are doing very well, right? But I would just go upvote because we're supposed to like upvote ourselves and will not really read through to understand, okay, what is this industry about? For me, it was just I write, I get SBDs, and I am done. So 2019 was when I understood the gravity of the mistakes that I was making, because now I told myself this is the industry I was going to function in. I was going to build my business development career in. I did business management in school. So in that 2019, I started looking for jobs, ambassador jobs, and I started working so that I could understand the blockchain, not just the crypto. I wanted to now understand the tech itself. How does the blockchain work? Why is it important that we have this decentralization? What exactly is even this decentralization in a ledger system? So I got a job with Algorand and started working as an ambassador. When people would do content for Algorand, it helped me because I was doing content, and because I was intentional about what I wanted to get, I began to understand the blockchain. If I could code, I probably would have built a mini chain at that period. But I began to understand it, the structure, everything as regards it. So 2019 was the year of research. It was like I took a whole year trying to understand how this thing works. And then 2020, after I'd understood it, 2020 I was like, okay, so I'm going to build products, right, in Web3. I was going to build products. So I think that's my entry into the Web3 space before the builder journey.
Well, the entry is inspirational for like, wow, from not understanding what it's all about to understanding it. And I love from what you said so far, you were intentional about your growth in year 2019 to research and know what is this thing, what is this technology, and then from
Yeah,
2020,
that year I
2020.
was taking a lot of ambassador jobs with blockchains, because I would, if you're going to take, then if you are doing an ambassador work, you have to read the documentation. It's not now that everything is, sort of like simplified and all. Then if you are an ambassador, you have to read the whole documentation and understand it. So when you are making a tweet or anything, it's clear, right? So I think that was one of the things that really helps my foundation in the space.
At times I've changed. Now I just use ChatGPT and or you just get tweet of similar ambassadors, really put it on Google, and say replicate such for my use this person writing style. And
it's so true.
I think big shout to OpenAI for paving the way, because everybody wants to launch Onchain AI agents. Don't know. Okay, so it's really awesome hearing your story. So why did you choose to build on Bitsave, one of your products that is doing excellently well?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I choose to build on Base because I think it was easier. Okay, no, I think that's the second reason. The first reason is that Base supported us first. So before we came on Base, our contracts were live on Algorand, they were live on Zeta Chain. We had one hackathons in Algorand. We had one hackathon on Zeta Chain also. And last year we got into an accelerator program sponsored by Octant, which was for builders, in Web3. I think that was the first accelerator program Octant ever did. And so we got in, and I entered in with Bitsave. We got through the accelerator program, and we were able to get $800. I think it was about around $800 for grants to start. Right, the grants were channeled through Flow State, and it was a grant that was streamed to you. So they used the super liquid structure, and so the grant gets streamed to you. And so over a period of time, we got streamed around like $800 in ETH, right? And that fund, we used it to complete the front end for Bitsave. So when you look at building Bitsave, the idea came to me in 2020. It became more impressed in 2021. 2022, I had to start Borderless first before building Bitsave, because there was a problem I found out in the ecosystem. If I started building Bitsave in 2022, it probably would have been a disaster, because there weren't developers to work with. So I felt like, let's solve that problem first in my region where I am and in my ecosystem before I go on to build it. So 2023, we started 2022, we were doing development as regards the smart contract infrastructure. So we completed that in 2023. And then 2024 was front end. 2024 was like the year of front end for Bitsave. How do we make it simpler? How do we make it, faster, stuff like that, frameworks. So in that 2024, the funds that we got, because I think Base was also part of the sponsors for the accelerator program. So the funds that we got from that accelerator program helped us complete our front-end integration activities. And once that happened, I was like, Base already supported us, even though not directly, but they supported an accelerator program that brought us in. So yeah, we should launch on them. And so since our contracts were already, in various EVMs, I just thought to our smart contract dev, since we're done, let's launch this on Base and let Base be like the first chain that people get to use Bitsave on. And that was what happened. So early this year we launched it, I think February, and then in March we started doing testing, live testing. We'll go to events and get people to save on Bitsave. We'll send them USDC on Base, and stuff like that. And then we got into the excuse me, that was then the first base buildathon. No, yeah, it was buildathon. It was the first base buildathon. We entered in for it, and I think we won maybe like $50. It wasn't much, but it was really cool. Then the next buildathon, we entered in as showcase because we had completed, Bitsave in the first buildathon. So we entered in as the showcase, and then from that showcase was how we got into the Incubase program. And so I think the first reason is that we had support from Base first. Indirectly, they supported us first. And so I felt like, then we should launch on them. And then when we launched on them, we got continued support. It was also easier. And one of the things was that made it easier is that Base has DevRels, right, in our region. So DeFi DevRel Israel. There were times when we had one bug issue with gas bug issue. It wasn't on our contract, it was on our front end. And we were able to have a call with Israel and DeFi DevRel, and they helped us through it. Even though I think DeFi DevRel was busy at that point, but he was in the group, he would drop his suggestions. Israel went on a call with us, and it took us like an hour before we were able to find out the issue. Now, I've built with several ecosystems. I can tell you for a fact, it's quite hard to get that kind of support, and we got that support. So it's just easier. Like, it's sort of like easier building with Base because apart from the grant support, you actually do get the technical support. You get devs who are willing to jump with you on a call. There are ecosystems that we try to reach out to. You'll be on their Discord, you ask questions, you won't get so much response. We had that with the first blockchain we're building with, even the other one that we won a hackathon with. After the hackathon, that was it. There was no continuity. Right? Okay, so we've won the hackathon. We want our project to actually get users in the ecosystem, and it was like cricket sound. Right? But with Base, it's not like that. Base actually wants to see you grow, and it's the best ecosystem that I've worked with as a founder, I can tell you, and I've worked with a lot of ecosystems as regards Bitsave. It's an ecosystem that's sort of like structured in such a way that they're intentional about your growth as a founder, as with your project. So if you are ready to be serious, they'll be serious with you. That's it. But for some other ecosystems, even when we were serious, we sent messages, we sent emails, we need help with this, help us with this person. Even to get a DevRel was a problem. That's why I started building on Base, and that's why I'm still building on Base.
That's based.
Yeah, that's based. That's based. That's a good one.
So we have been talking about Bitsave. I know some persons will be like, what is Bitsave? These people are saying Bitsave this, Bitsave. I'm so surprised that Bitsave, the idea came out in 2020, and then from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. I mean, like, wow.
5 years, bro.
I mean, it has been compounding. Wow.
I think if you go on our YouTube, if you go on our YouTube, the earliest you would see of our iteration on Bitsave was 2023. That was the earliest. That's where we were doing a video on our contracts being live. Yeah.
So, what is Bitsave? So that those who don't know about Bitsave can know. So, what is Bitsave, and then what problem does it solve?
Okay, thank you. So Bitsave is your on-chain savings protocol for saving on-chain. You know how I usually give this example of the different kind of movies that we watch, action movies. And in every action movie, somehow, there is always a point where the lead character has to quickly leave town, maybe because the government is after him, or his enemies are after him, or she. And then they go to their house and they break either a wall or they open a safe and they are bringing out either money. You find gold bars in the safe. You find sometimes ammunition. You find passports. You always find passport IDs, multiple passport IDs, so they can have different identities and all. So that safe that they break, or that wall that they break to access those savings, that is Bitsave, but on-chain. So think of you wanting to stash away money on chain that you don't want to touch, right? It's not lack of money or anything. You just want to be disciplined and not touch this money because it is for a specific purpose. And then you want to be able to come back anytime to withdraw this money, right? There's also a penalty fee that is attached, just like there is a lock that CIA agent puts on his safe, or the wall, right? So they have to break the wall to be able to get the safe. That's because they shouldn't access the safe anytime except it's an emergency. By the end of the day, it is accessible. So think of that structure being represented in a smart contract where anybody in the world can use it and, apply it even to their protocol. Exchanges can apply it. Different DeFi protocols can apply it to their protocol. So that's what Bitsave is. Essentially, it is your on-chain savings protocol. A lot of our community members have called it many things, but it's essentially your savings protocol on-chain. So the idea is, since we already earn on-chain,
unlike piggy bank that after 3 months you would go and open the wood and be like, now we'll go chop. So you open the wood after 3 months. But then with Bitsave, you can say, okay, this is 1 year. I'm going in to save for 1 year. And then you have to discipline yourself because there's a penalty fee there if you don't stick to the initial plan of 1 year. So thanks for explaining that. And Bitsave was one of the winners for the base batches 001. So how was the experience during the base batches? How was the experience? And also, okay, let's talk about your experience first.
Oh, okay. It was really great. I liked the sprints because it had focus. So every week there were things that were expected of you as a founder. So you were supposed to set a goal for the week. This week, what are you going to work on? 3 things you're going to work on. Sometimes for us it was both marketing, developer, community, So there was a sprint every week, and then there were feedback. Okay, so what happened this week? At the end of the week, we were supposed to fill a form to give our feedback. Not like a form, but an Excel sheet where you put in the task that you did that week as a founder. What wins did you have? So it sort of gave you even if you were already doing this kind of things, but it was a different kind of incubator program. It was an incubator program for projects that wanted to do. That was what it was for. Then the other thing that I really liked was the sessions. So we had GTM coaches, we had growth coaches, we didn't have the technical part though. I think we didn't have technical coaches. I think maybe because we already had our products ready. But we also had fundraising coaches. So there are various coaches that were for different areas, and that gave us the opportunity to sort of focus on what area that we wanted. Yeah, there was product coach, a coach that would help you with your product design and all. So, and one good thing was when our product coach looked at our product, they were like, you guys are ready. The product is actually cool. There was no mention of, change this or change that. It was just give us a little bit of joy moment. So when people finish savings, what next? Can they tweet it, and stuff like that. So for our product coach, then the place that we really got a lot of value from, because that was our biggest pain point, was the GTM coach. We wanted to understand, how do we begin to do marketing for Bitsave? Okay, so we spent this number of years building Bitsave. How do we structure our messaging and our getting users, getting our first 1,000 users, by the way, we've crossed our first 1,000 users. We'll announce later on. Getting our first 1,000 users, getting partners. How do we do all of that? So GTM was the perfect for us, because from the sessions we had, and that was Mr. Osoro, he was our GTM coach. From the sessions we had with him, it was so good that an aspect on our product came as a result of that session. I remember his first. So the incubators happened two ways. You had the first session, which was the general session. A GTM coach comes and talks about, go-to-market strategies for projects, and then you had one-on-one sessions with this coach. So from the GTM session, the general GTM session, we got to create something on our protocol called Savvy Space. So if you go on Bitsave, you would see a part called Savvy Space. You would also see the Earn BTS area. Those two areas were created as a result of our session with our GTM coach, both the general session and the one-on-one sessions, right? Initially, we didn't want to add anything as regards token until later on, but his session helped us understand that you can structure it in such a way that users can get an expectation of the value they would get from your protocol. So if they can't see the value apart from your product function, you would lose other users that even if they need your products, they won't go in, because this is Web3. Everybody's always trying to look for what's in it for me. Excuse me. So you need to tap into the psychology of that. So his session helped us as a team re-strategize, and then we added like 2 more features in our protocol, and that's the NBTS area and the Savvy Points area. So it was really, really, really cool. I think that was one of our biggest win for the program.
Wow, it's very packed. And
yeah, it was. It's very packed.
What's changed since winning? So what are some things that changed since winning?
A lot.
We are here for all of it.
Okay, a lot did for us. The first was the attention that we got, and also the mindset shift, right? One of the things I wanted was, how do we sell Bitsave as a product that the world can use? Like anybody who earns USDC can use Bitsave. It's not a product restricted to Africa, and the winning helped us with that, because we were able to get people from different parts of the world experiment on Bitsave, use Bitsave. We were able to get people from, I think, LATAM. When we check our dashboard, we see that we're getting traffic from LATAM, from Germany, from I think some say from China. We saw one at one point. I was like, wow, all the way China. We're getting users from these different areas actually using Bitsave, and so that helped us do an update quickly. We made this Google Translate updates where any country that you are in, Bitsave would show in your country's local language. It's not going to show in English. So we made that quickly enough so it would have been easy. So it's easier for our users in different countries to interact with Bitsave. So the exposure that it gave after winning helped reinforce trust that our users had with us. And then we also were able to get a lot of access to Base West Africa support. For example, we had Base West Africa did a marketing growth sprint recently. I don't think if we weren't at Base Batch, we would have gotten in or probably being considered, right? So the winning helped us also within Base ecosystem and also outside Africa. So for example, the Base Growth Hackathon that happened, we had a team of 10 persons who did great with marketing and selling Bitsave. And then every time we come, we see users. Sometimes when we come on our social media platform, somebody has followed us or someone has done a video about us, right? So we see users create content, and they're always like, this guy's won the first Base builder batch, and stuff like that. So the exposure it has given us and reach as regards marketing, and then trust also, it's been really great for an early project.
To get Starlink, I'm saving up with Bitsave, so probably let's see by December.
Oh, nice! You're saving for your Starlink on Bitsave. That's good. That's a good one.
What are some? I want to ask you now. This is more of a personal question. What is that habit that is keeping you grounded? Like despite all you have achieved in the past and what you are still achieving, that has kept you grounded on. This is still day one.
I think it's there's just this. I think it's one, having a really big goal. I have a very big goal, and sometimes when people hear it,
Come on, this.
there are two kinds of people that hear it. There are the people who hear it and are like, "Who do you think you are? Why should you have that kind of goal in this space? Oh, you're a woman, you're a lady, you're even married, you have many stuff that you are currently doing. What kind?" I've had people tell me that I've been in an incubation program. I think it was even last year or towards the end of 2023, where I was told that investors won't invest with me because they feel like women shouldn't be founders, like men should be founders, right?
What?
And I got it from and it was in public. Like the guy said it while we were preparing for presentations, like preparing for demo day, right? And he was saying, "Oh, Carla, I'm just gonna be real with you. Number one, you're a woman. We still have investors who feel like women shouldn't be founders. And number two, you are in Nigeria. People are still skeptical about investing in Nigerian ecosystems and all that stuff." So I've had people like that. I've also had people who are very encouraging, who like when they hear my goal, they're like, "Oh, I'm inspired." So I've had the two types of persons, and when they do, what happens is I have this habit of winding down the noise, like selective hearing. I hear what I want to hear. I'll hear what I want to hear, and then I'll do what I want to do. So it doesn't matter the challenge that comes, or the wins that I get. It's always as if I have not achieved this goal, so I've not achieved anything yet. That's how it's like. For me, it's like, "Oh, do you have 1,000,000 users yet?" Okay, you don't. So if you don't have 1,000,000 users yet, then you've not started. When we get 10K, to be like, "Okay, have you gotten 1,000,000 users yet?" So there's just never this point of relaxing for me and like, "Okay, you have achieved this. You take a break and maybe relax a little and lay back." It just never comes, because my big goal is to get 1,000,000 users using Bitsave. Like that's my big goal, right? Even when we get like 10 billion locked in TVS and maybe like 10 different or 100 different ecosystems are using our SDK, the goal is 1,000,000 users. So till I get to 1,000,000 users, that's when I feel like, okay, I've achieved something, right? That's the thing. So no matter what success I have, I still feel like it's day one. I'm not there yet, so I'm still going to be working. I'm still going to be really working and making sure that I get to that goal. So I think the habit is me constantly thinking about the goal that I have set, and because I'm thinking about that goal, once I have not reached it, I don't feel like I have achieved yet. So I keep working, I keep doing the work.
No, when I got to find that you're a musician, I was surprised on Instagram when your post popped up on my For You page. I said, this is Karlagod from Twitter. She's a musician, so how is this? how is this possible? She's community builder, partner lead for Borderless, co-founder for Bitsave, and a musician. Wonderful. I had to click follow us up and check out your music, and they are really nice. And what I mean, like, there's some music you listen to that this one is just doing it so that they don't laugh him that, so you later stop this music career. But then there also those you listen to and be like, this person is talented. So what are some tips you would share for people starting out? Now this is beyond being in Web3, because I mean we have live before Web3. So what are some tips you would share for someone starting out?
So I would say early enough, begin investing in people. Then while you are investing in people, then invest in structures, because you won't be able to do everything, but you would have at least interests or abilities for more than 3 things. So, and those are things that you would want to pursue. So if you're going to be very sort of like active or progress, if you look at your life and you feel like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you need to invest in people a lot, because when you invest in people, you can then have 24 hours multiplied into the amount of people that you've invested in. So one of the reasons I'm able to still do music and do a lot of the other things that I am working in is because I'm not doing everything alone. I have people that I genuinely invest in and raise, so that they can be a success also on their own, even without me. But what I find out is the more I do that, the more I gain relevance in the lives of these persons, that when I need help for something or I need something to be done, they are available to help me on it. So I've got people that I have raised through Borderless. I've got people that I've raised through B Media. I've got people that I've raised through even my church activities. I've got people that I've raised through, what else again? Church, B Media, Borderless. I think that's it. Yeah. So Web3, arts, and then Christianity. So at every point in my life, there is, even socially, I've got people that I've raised socially. There are people who follow me to hear some of the things that I say and, pique interest, and they continue at it. And then later on, maybe like months later, they tell me, oh, I saw you posted about this thing. I did it. I've been following you. And this is what I've been able to achieve. So I sort of like to invest in people. And because I do, I get that return on investment in a lot of things, in many things. Like that's something that you can't really always quantify, because it changes a lot. So a very good example are the people that have worked with me that are now building, right? When we started in 2022, when we started Borderless in 2022, the people that were working with us were young people. Some of them didn't even know anything about Web3, but they were active, and I would spend time teaching, talking, and now they have their own projects. They have their own projects that are building in the space. Some of them are ambassadors for various blockchains. Some are entering business development roles, and things like that. So yeah, that's how that's one thing that has helped me through all the industries that I'm active in, raising people.
Thanks so much for sharing that. That's really awesome. To invest in people. Thanks so much for sharing that. So we have come to the end of this section, and it's been nice having you. A lot of persons look up to you. A lot of persons get inspired by you. A lot of persons like, I was at an event one day and I wore your Bitsave cap. So there was this cap, Jeremiah told me to give Daddy Mufasa. And I forgot to give Daddy Mufasa, so I wore it at an event. I said, Bitsave, did you work with that? I said, they say, do I know Karlagod? I said, why not? Who doesn't know Karlagod? So let's say that if you love to connect with you, blah blah blah, and that you're like, wow, this is awesome.
So nice.
So